At the Fianna Fáil Ardèche, Bertie Ahern rallies his troops in advance of the general election. A man from Armagh is remanded in custody in London, charged with the Docklands bombing. And UN aid is distributed for the first time in the Albanian port of Durrës. Evening. The Fianna Fáil leader Bertie Ahern has told his Ardèche that the Rainbow Coalition is a government of the three-card trick. He accused it of spending with no care for tomorrow, and he said more ministers have had to resign in disgrace from this government than from any other in the history of the state. From the RDS in Dublin, our political correspondent Una Claffey.
Well, in keeping with the fighting mood of this Ardèche, Bertie Ahern went straight for the jugular. The coalition, he said, is a government of the three-card trick, concerned about power and not about principle. And he claimed that people will reject Labour and what he called their arrogance on election day.
Fianna Fáil will enforce a new set of standards for all its members. We will not tolerate any deviation from the benchmarks of honour at local level or in Leinster House, be it in the past, the present or the future. No one is welcome in this party if they betray the public trust. I say this, and I mean this, with every fibre of my being. We will write new ethical standards and independent enforcement into the law of this land. I know the Rainbow will oppose that too. Just as the three Rainbow parties between them have actively resisted and ridiculed every great national venture. They're against Europe, against national agreements, against the work of the peace process, against the semi-states, against partnership boards, and of course they're united in being against the public service. But let me tell them tonight, Fianna Fáil is proud of our public service workers and their honourable service to their country. We will always stand by our Gardaí, our army, our prison officers, our teachers, the nurses and all civil service and public sector employees.
He told delegates he will make the fight against crime the priority of his government. And he said the most basic civil right is to feel safe on the streets and safe in one's home.
And let me put the Fianna Fáil message in 5 simple words to the drug barons and to the criminal gangs. We will not accept this. You will no longer be allowed to hold sway over our lives. You will no longer live in luxury with impunity. Because we have a plan for you. Our plan is to arrest you, prosecute you and put you in jail.
He promised tax reform as the central and most fundamental part of economic policy.
We'll eliminate borrowing to finance day-to-day public spending. And the new Fianna Fáil government will not overspend. It will keep strictly to the economic targets it sets. It will put tax cuts for people ahead of play money for politicians.
He said second chance peace in the north will be as sweet as first chance. And he said he will strive with all his energy to achieve a new ceasefire.
Fianna Fáil played a central role in creating the peace process, and I assure you that Fianna Fáil will work hard to create a new one. Nothing will deflect us from it. It is our historic challenge. It is our inescapable obligation. It is our political destiny.
He turned again to economic policy and he said that in the 60s Fianna Fáil had the vision to take the first steps in economic development.
The economic boom created by the Irish people when Fianna Fáil was in power made Ireland the envy of many. It has put unlimited possibilities into our hands. For the first time in history, the dream is ours to shape. The dream of an Ireland deep-rooted in shared beliefs, but unafraid of fresh ideas. The dream of an Ireland that puts people first, cherishing our children, celebrating our educated, ambitious young people, valuing our older citizens, An Ireland that's never satisfied, that's always watching out for the people who slip through the net, the ones who are pushed to the edge, the ones who get left behind. It is only by putting people first that we can create an Ireland fit for the future.
So a night of triumph for Bertie Ahern on a weekend when he well and truly stamped his leadership on the party. Whether or not he can exorcise the ghosts of the past, only the electorate will tell.
At our best, we are the party of Ireland's heart and Ireland's hope. We are the party that puts people before politics. We are the party that puts people before politics, the party of all the people. We are Fianna Fáil.
This is Una Clappy from the Fianna Fáil RTE.